So if you see the today's journey, okay, what we probably are going to cover out here is it's all about how to secure yourself in this internet world today. Okay. Hope everybody is there with me in this session, and probably I'll be asking few questions, and probably I would anticipate all the participants to closely participate in this session and understand what cybersecurity is all about. Okay, so if you see today's scenario, okay, probably I know that everybody is aware about Corona pandemic, and because of which the schools, colleges, offices are now closed, right? And everybody is working from home or attending the lectures from home, and the lectures are being accessed through mobiles, laptops, okay, and now that you're onto the internet, okay, it's nothing but an external world you're exposed to. So for example, if we take an example, okay, if you're sitting in home, okay, you are in your closed doors, okay, you're protected, okay, and like what you did in Corona pandemic times, right? You hardly used to go outside, right? When hardly used to visit somebody, okay, you used to wear masks, you used to wear gloves, okay. So that is what security is all about, okay. Like whenever you're accessing, you're going outside onto public internet, you should be protected, okay. Uh, you should be say probably thinking of what should we access, what we should not access, okay. That is what cyber security is all about, like protecting yourself in Corona times. Similarly, when you are onto that internet cloud wherein you are exposed to multiple threats, okay, how you should protect yourself, that's the objective of today's session basically, okay. So what is cybersecurity? Okay, when we say cybersecurity, why that term comes into picture, like for example during Corona times, okay, you knew that you have to be protected from certain things, and how did you protect yourself during that time? Okay, so what you did was you took precaution, you took medicines, okay, you probably stopped touching or avoiding a contact with a person or a door, okay, so that you should not get affected by Corona, right? That is what was the objective of being safe, okay. Similarly, in internet today, okay, if you want to be protected, if you want to be safe, okay, you should know what are the threats, okay. If you don't know what are the threats, you'll be prone to the attacks, right? Okay, so that is what the today's session is all about, okay. So cybersecurity means protecting data and information from unauthorized access. So what are the threats? Okay. So like Corona, you heard about, right? It was a virus, okay? And that virus played a real havoc. It killed many people. It affected a lot many people. Many people are still recovering, okay? So it has its own disadvantages, right? Similarly, the viruses in computers, okay, or threats in computers have lot many drawbacks, okay, which you may not know or which you may not have encountered. But there are certain people, there are certain students, there are certain parents, okay, they would have encountered this kind of a scenario wherein they were compromised with certain threats, okay, they were probably attacked by some online kind of events, okay. So that is what we are going to cover today. So what is a virus, okay? Though it's very common and known to everybody, just to give you a gist of it, it's a program, okay, which is nothing but a file which attaches to other file, okay. It affects that other file, it gets executed, okay. Once it gets executed, it affects other files in the computers. It would actually create an impact of like deleting the file, or probably adding some data to the file and make that file unusable. It can cause a crash of your computer. If your computer crashes, what happens? The problems would be, yes, your computer would go, computer would not be working, okay. It may not give you, or it may not allow you to work, okay. So this is what virus is, okay. Similarly, the other part is worms, okay. Now what is worm? Probably see, okay, if you have seen plants, right? On plants you would have seen caterpillar or something, right? Okay, it eats one of the leaf, then it goes on to another leaf, eat that leaf, okay, and so on basically. Similarly, worms are the programs, okay, which affect from one computer to another. Okay. The repercussions of worms affecting your computer or network is it will slow down your networks. So when it slow downs your network, what happens is your internet will work slow. Okay. You will probably have slower internet experiences, pages opening very slow. Okay. You will not come to know what's happening. Okay. It even can cause a business outages. Say, for example, I don't know that many of them are aware about networks or not. Okay. But what happens in a corporate environment where your parents are working, say your mom and your papa is working, okay, there they have lot of computers, lot of big networks. And if suppose worm attacks those kind of network, automatically there will be business outages. People will not be able to use in the worm kind of environment because what it happens is it spreads across the computers in the network and it slow downs the communication because it generates so much of traffic. You have seen traffic, right? Okay. We say there is a traffic. Okay. There is a congestion. Okay. What happens with traffic getting locked up? Okay. You cannot move, right? So that is what happens when there is a worm attack. Okay, you can't, your data cannot move, your communication does not move, you cannot open web pages. Okay, everything becomes a standstill kind of thing, basically. Okay, similarly, in computer environment, worm creates that kind of an havoc, basically. So what is a Trojan horse? Okay, Trojan horse is a technique, okay, or it's a tool basically, which is nothing but you can say a time bomb. Okay, you would have heard about bombs, right? The You would have seen movies wherein there was a time bomb implemented and it triggered at one point in time and it bursted everything. Okay, so that is what Trojan horse is in computer terms. Basically, it's a program which is there on your system and you don't know that there is a harmful file basically which is residing on your system basically. And what it does is it triggers automatically on one point in time. This Trojan horse, okay, have been utilized to block missile programs of various countries. Okay, this happened during Iran-Iraq war, though those wars are very old, but the missile programs were attacked using Trojan horse. Okay, or there were certain programs which are implemented in their missile delivery system, and it actually brought down their complete missile delivery system. So America was attacking them, but they cannot counter American missiles, basically. So that is what can happen. That is a good thing because it prevented a lot of other lives getting affected. Okay, but there are bad things also which can be happening through this. Okay, it can bring threat to your system. It can stop your system functioning. Okay, all those sort of things could happen with Trojan horse. Spywares. Okay, this is something really interesting. I don't know whether you guys have seen James Bond movies. Okay, and probably everybody knows who is James Bond. Okay, so James Bond is a character which plays a spy. Okay, as an American spy against Russian and other countries. Okay, if you know that. Similarly, in recent past, you would have seen many movies in which there was RAW, there was ISI, which has been mentioned. Okay, so ISI, RAW, okay, are intelligence agencies, basically, or spies. Okay, say RAW is an Indian intelligence agency and spy, which spies against our enemies, okay, in neighboring countries, whether they are planting some kind of an attack onto us, okay, which could be a physical attack, through emanations and all those things, or through some other medium, basically. Okay. And similarly, ISI is a foreign Pakistani agency, which again can launch certain kind of spying activities and see what India is trying to do against them, basically. Okay. So there are a lot of the spy agencies which are there, and every spy is sitting in each and every country, basically, whom you probably don't know. Similarly, on your computer, okay, you have certain tools which are known as spywares. So what the spywares actually do is they try to take snapshot of your keystrokes. So for example, if you're typing some message, say for example, today, many people have started utilizing or using WhatsApp on their computers. They have configured WhatsApp on their computers. They have banking applications which they access from their computers. Okay, they probably log into bank accounts through their computers. So what the spywares actually do is they record each and every keystroke acting on your computer. Okay, They can even capture your financial data when you're visiting your banking sites, pass on that information to attacker or hacker basically. Okay, so that dangerous it is basically. Okay, so the impact of this kind of spywares is it can have a data loss which would happen, and a stealing of data. Somebody steals your data, the data is lost. Okay, once your data is lost, you are at a you are at a mercy of an hacker or somebody. Okay, so be careful whenever you are trying to download anything from internet. Okay, anything, any program. Okay, what are ransomwares? What are ransomware? Okay, when we say ransomware, okay, in recent past, you would have heard about hackers, okay, you would have heard about hackers attacking certain systems, okay. So ransomware is nothing but a program which probably an attacker or an hacker implants into your computers. Okay, now what happens with this is, say for example, ransomware with attacker takes control of your system. He encrypts. He can encrypt. When you say encrypt, it makes your file unusable. Okay, it makes your files unusable. And for that unusable file, if you want to make that file usable, okay, they'll ask you for dollars or rupees basically. Okay, so that is what ransomware is all about. So word itself says ransom. Okay, for something, okay, which you have blocked, which you have encrypted, which you have locked, you pay me a money, and then I'll ensure that I'll give you a solution for that. But is that the way to probably protect your system? Or say probably if suppose somebody is asking ransom, then you will pay a ransom to him? No, you should not be doing that. You should be taking a regular backups of your system, avoid unwanted files getting opened onto the system. Okay, with because of ransomware you will have deletion of data, encrypting of data, and what happens is loss of business continuity or loss of your uh, access, okay, to critical resources. So what I say when I say critical resources, what happens is I'll tell you. So for example, today you are attending online lectures, okay, on your computers and or a laptop or a mobile phone basically. If suppose an attacker attacks your laptop, computer or a mobile phone, it is if it is unusable, you cannot really use it. You think you can attend your lectures? No. If suppose that is one of the thing, but if suppose your computer is down, your exam is going on, okay, critical exam. So for example, somebody is appearing for a IIT examination, somebody is appearing for a final examination, machine goes down suddenly and you cannot appear for a paper. Just imagine what can happen. Just imagine what can happen. Okay, so be aware of what is happening around you. Okay, be careful. There are other forms of threats, okay, which probably I may not be covering because it probably would turn out into a bouncers today. But whatever I'm teaching today, I would probably suggest you just have a read through it, go to internet, okay, search for these terms, botnets, rootkits, phishing, attacks, DDoS, man in the middle, adware, social engineering, okay. Just read those attacks and the viruses, worms, Trojan horse, ransomwares. Just get to learn what it is all about. If you learn to know what it is all about, you can protect your systems by your own. Okay, you need not need anything to protect your systems, but that does not mean that you don't have any protection on your system. Okay, you need to have protection, you need to have precautions. Okay, it's always said, right, precaution is better than cure. So that is what you need to follow. Another important thing is now, as I said, that we are nowadays totally online, and we deal with we connect with lot of friends. In recent past, we were playing many games online like PUBG, okay, or certain other games like which provides online gaming and have friends there, and you share a lot of confidential information at times. Okay, that is again risky. So be aware that, okay, if you're on that forum, okay, if you're on that forum, try to avoid sharing any kind of information like your name, a complete name, date of birth, PAN card details, Aadhaar card details, not about yourself also, but about your parents also. Don't share any kind of a confidential information, okay, because that can be a potential attack onto you, okay, into your parents' bank account or your bank account or your email ID or your Facebook ID, basically. So be careful when you're using this kind of a social media or social mediums, basically. So what is hacking basically? I probably may not cover the complete topic, but I want to just tell you that whatever information we gathered, okay, or an hacker gathered an information about you, he can easily enter into your computer, okay, by any medium, through either ransomware, through a social engineering, okay, and he can steal the information, misutilize that information, take out money from your bank account, okay, take out the chats from your WhatsApp which you have sent to your friends, okay, take out a critical video files which you had sent to your say friend, or probably he can come and delete something which is very critical you created. So for example, there are a lot many childrens today or students who are very creative, they create something really good, okay, and what happens with that creativity is, if suppose you have created something which you wanted to show to your parents, to your teachers as a project, and somebody deleted it. Now how do you create if you don't have backup? Everything is gone, okay, you can't really retrieve it. So you need to have backup, as well as you should avoid contacts with people whom you don't know, okay. So somewhere I mentioned social engineering. So what is social engineering basically? Social engineering is nothing but a form of hacking, okay. You don't notice. So for example, you're sitting in a cyber cafe or an airport, okay, or probably at home, okay, you didn't notice that somebody is standing behind you, and probably you're typing your bank, you're logging into your bank site, okay, you're entering username and password. He sees that username and password from backside, and he just enters that same ID and credential, username and password, and he can get access to your critical information, basically about banking details, about your email IDs, okay. So be aware of this kind of attacks. The physical methods are like shoulder surfing, somebody standing back of you and probably seeing what you're doing, basically. Computer based methods are, don't open any kind of a chain emails like, hey, you will get a lottery, you get a free money with this. Nothing happens like that, boss, believe me. I haven't seen I getting money by such kind of a chain mails. Boss, you won a lottery and you just fill in this information and you will get crores and worth of cars and bungalows and all those things. Nothing like that happens. You have to earn to gain something. Okay, nothing is free in this world. And try to avoid hoax emails. Basically, at times you would see that there are a lot of hoax emails which are prevalent. Okay, hoax messages which come on your say mobiles. Okay, it says, boss, take your first dose of Covaxin and you will be gifted free cycle. Okay, nothing like that happens. Believe me. Okay, it's all nothing but government does not run any scheme for you taking a vaccine. It is for your purpose, right? So avoid clicking on to those kind of hoax warnings, okay, and falling a prey to some kind of an attack, okay. There are a lot of websites which gather a lot of personal information of yours. Okay, try to avoid going onto those kind of websites. Okay, it gathers a lot of information about you, your parents, your family members, and then they can easily gain access to your banking, your emails. Okay, so please avoid this kind of things. Okay, when you are dealing with your personal information. And also do not reveal any kind of information directly, indirectly, okay, to anybody, okay. So what are the attack vectors? How the attack come into your computer, okay? Most of them would be aware, but just to tell you, USBs and pen drives, okay, which you bring from outside, from your friends, please avoid that. If you're bringing in also, please check it before using, scan it, clean it, and then only use it. Okay. Please avoid using any kind of a third party media. Okay. Anybody it is. Okay. So virus and infection can come through anything. Okay. Even though if his family member, does not mean that he has used that pen drive in some good computer. He would have used it on, say, a cyber cafe system where there was an infection and which came to your machine. Okay. Avoid doing that. Emails, if you don't know where the email is originating from, please don't open that. Okay. Another thing is web. If suppose you go to a website and if it is infected, you would probably say a website getting infected. Yes, website can also get infected. It has certain codes which can automatically get downloaded onto your system and it will affect your system. So be careful on whatever actions you are doing or performing. Like coronavirus, you used to take a lot of precaution to get yourself protected. Okay, like drinking a lot of water, avoiding touch, using sanitizers. So do similar things out here. Okay, avoid touches to unwanted emails. Use sanitizers. When I say that, don't go to unwanted sites, whether it's gaming or certain other sites and sites which you don't know. Okay, avoid doing that. Listen to your parents because they are also experienced to use, what not to use. Okay. What are the motives behind cyber attacks? Okay, if we see today, there are a lot of motives which have emerged behind cyber attacks. Okay, previously it was like there was a cyber attack which people, so small kids used to just to play around. Till that it was okay. For fun it was okay. Okay, for kids to be using that it was okay. Okay, just for a fun. But later on, okay, it started as a protest. Okay, online you would see lot of people talking about some government, some party. Okay, that is what is again a cyber attack. Okay, that is, those kind of a cyber attacks are run by, say for example, if suppose some politician of ours in India, okay, is like probably highlighted, he's a bad person, he's a bad man, and you will really believe that he's a bad man, bad person. But nobody goes and really tries to find out whether what they were talking on that media and forum was really right, really genuine, or it was wrong. Okay, nobody actually checks that. So that is what internet is all about. So be careful. Okay, there are a lot of things which are leaked. Okay, for governments. Government websites are hacked. Okay, they are defaced basically. Okay, so all those kind of things happen. And one major motive behind cyber attacks is basically money. So what's happening today is, or what used to happen few years back, but it is now gradually growing. Internet is the fastest medium to earn money. Okay, by attacking somebody. Okay, and that is what people are doing because a lot of unemployment happened. Somebody who was a good person turned into a bad. So you don't turn into a bad person. Okay, control yourself. Okay, money will come with hard work and it will come to you. Okay, so please avoid getting into all this kind of attempt against anybody. Okay, whether it's your friend, whether it's anybody, don't try to hack. Even if you know certain hacking techniques and all those things, avoid those things. You will be in bars basically. Okay, you will be in police station. Okay, avoid all those things or you'll be in a lockup. Okay, so that dangerous cyber attacks are, and these are the motives which I told you. Try to get away from all these motives. Okay, they'll not help you in any ways, except they'll uh, probably will go behind the bars basically. Consequences of successful cyber attacks. Okay, you have seen, right? We have seen various attacks which happen onto our computers. So what happens is, one is a financial loss, identity theft. Okay, data loss is happening. So for example, a critical information of yours gets stolen by somebody. Okay, your what you can say, there is a misuse of your computers and your mobiles. You don't come to know what's actually happening. Okay, your resources are encrypted, it's unusable, you can't really use it. So these are the few do's and don'ts which I probably want to cover. Okay, and I want to tell you that you follow this Okay, but you'll not be 100% safe if you don't understand what's happening on your computer. Okay, and if you probably don't look at what you're opening, what you're accessing. Okay, so for example, you have to use the latest antivirus solution on your computer. That is must. Okay, to protect your system from getting it affected by, say, viruses, trojans, or say ransomwares. Okay, have a proper antivirus loaded. Scan all your devices which you are inserting onto your system, like USB, external hard disk, or a DVD which you're bringing from outside. Okay, don't use any kind of a pirated devices, softwares, or DVDs. Okay, do scan all your attachments. Okay, these are very important rules. Keep your password very complex. When you're choosing a password, don't choose password at the rate 123. Don't choose admin as a username, admin as a password. Okay, if you're using username, password should be complex. It should be a mix of small characters, big characters, digit, okay, and special characters. Special characters means at the rate, then exclamation. Use those kind of complex password. Your password should be 10 to 15 characters long. Basically, it should not be shorter than that. If you cannot remember, write it down somewhere. That should be again under your personal custody. Don't allow that book to be accessed by somebody in your home as well as by your friends. Okay, when we say password, they are personal to you. It's not to be shared with your parents. Okay, neither to be shared with your friends. Okay, so please take care of that. Okay, disable auto logins. You would have seen that whenever you go to a page, okay, you do, say for example, you go to a Gmail, okay, and Gmail, the browser says you want to save username and password for this website. You say yes. Okay, so what happens with this is, if suppose tomorrow somebody uses your computer or laptop, okay, he sits on your laptop, okay, there is an automatic, he just says gmail.com and he sees, yes, Prakash is logged in. Okay, the password you did not key in the password because it's stored in the browser, right? Okay, so he just clicks on the Prakash's ID, prakash at gmail.com, and you're logged into the system. Okay, and he can even access your email. So please avoid saving of password on your browsers. Okay, not this will not be, this is not only harmful at your home, at cyber cafes, at airports. Avoid saving passwords or any other files onto your desktop, laptops, or onto your browsers. Okay, similarly, just watch if there is somebody behind you, nearby you, watching your screen, seeing what are the passwords, username and passwords you're typing in. Please avoid using Wi-Fi in public places. Okay, avoid using critical information in public places over over internet network. Okay, don't log in uh, only if required, but you have to have a secure connection. Don't use any kind of a banking or any other critical sites on your cyber cafe or on your airport kiosk or somewhere. Okay. Always discuss the safe internet practices with your parents, your friends, so they are also aware. Okay, that they should not be accessing this, they should not be accessing that website, which will probably cause an harm to their system. So what are no's or what are don'ts? Okay, so don't share any password, net banking password, Gmail password, or an email password. Do not share OTPs with anybody. Do not share your ATM number, ATM PIN, okay, ATM CVV number with anybody. Do not share your personal identification number, like somebody who is elder and who is using PAN card. Do not share your PAN card number unless and until it is an authorized agency like banks, government agency who is asking for your PAN cards or sensitive information. Do not post your sensitive information anywhere where you don't trust those people. Okay. Do not open any kind of an attachment which are from an unsolicited source, basically. Okay, but the person whom you don't know. Do not use any kind of softwares, unauthorized applications, okay, or a pirated software. Okay, be careful while using that. Okay, do not download anything from any kind of unknown websites. Very important. Okay, so thank you. Thanks a lot for being a patient hearing. Thank you, everybody.